Everyone loves to save money.
And we're here to help you play the best games at the lowest possible price. Hi, I'm Marky.
And I'm Freddy, and today we got great deals for Nintendo Switch, so stay tuned and let's get started. We will start this week the deals with Target, and we checked the weekly ad. It didn't have a lot of great deals. However, they reactivated the $40 coupon for new members who will join Target Red Card. For Target Red Card, you don't have to apply for a credit card. You can apply your debit card. Just link your bank account debit card to Target Red Card, and this way you'll get the $40 discount. This discount will come in a form of coupon. Maybe it will be mailed to you or emailed based on your preference, and you can apply it on whatever you want. And this is what we need. And on top of that, you will have Target Red Card the entire time, and you will get 5% discount on any future purchase. And from time to time, Target will kick some good deals, and that's why I wanted to mention this $40 coupon discount. Now moving on to Gamestop. We checked the best games you can trade this week to get the best out of the money for the game that you have, and the game that you should trade if you're interested and you have it and you're done from it is GTA Trilogy for $25 story credit, and for the members you'll get $27, maybe a little bit more than that, $27, $28 if you remember. This is also for story credit. As usual, we don't recommend that you get cash because it will be maybe half the amount. So just get story credit and buy a new game with it. Another game that you could trade this week to get a lot of money for is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD edition. Also for the same price, $27 or $29, $30 for members. So it's totally worth it, and especially these games, you could have gotten them at a discount if you were following our channel, and a couple months ago they were definitely in the $35. So it's very nice to get $30 back. This way you almost played the game for $5 out of pocket. Not a lot of these at GameStop this week for games to buy, but some honorable mentions are Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath Collection for $24.99. Mortal Kombat is a classic fighting game. You gotta know it by now. But the Aftermath Collection comes with a lot of DLC. You can unlock a lot of characters, and all comes at the one price, $24.99, and it is a fair price. We've seen the game coming at a lot of discounts, but we've never seen it lower than this price, I believe. So that's why we say if you're interested, you've been eyeing it, now is the right time to get it. One honorable mention also in terms of deals, it's not mentioned in the weekly ad, however it's in store only, and it is the buy two get one free for any pre-owned game that is worth $20 or basically $19.99 or lower. So one of the games that you can get are the Outer Worlds for $19.99. It will be eligible for this discount for the free game basically, and also NBA 2K22, and yeah, these two games will qualify, and there are other games that maybe Marky will have some input on, but I want to just say a couple words about the Outer Worlds. The Outer Worlds is a great game, open world, that is very similar to Fallout New Vegas. If you played that one, it has a lot of options, a lot of things you can do, and the freedom of it is what makes this game unique, and that's why we kind of recommend this game. It's gonna be it might have also a sequel because the game made a lot of success when it was first released, so it's a nice way to jump on a game before it has a sequel.
Exactly. Like Freddy was saying, there's not a lot of big deals going on over at GameStop, but there's, like I said, a few honorable mentions that are worth bringing up. A lot of ones that I would personally recommend. And one of them is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for $39.99. And I don't have an extra hour or two to tell you why you should be playing that game, but play it for sure. It is definitely a JRPG that is worth your time for sure. It was a Wii game, but it was fantastic then, and it's even more fantastic now. Another one that's also worth jumping on is Bravely Default 2. I'm actually in the process of playing this one right now. It's been hanging out at $60, and it stays there for a while. It's actually down to $39.99. I want to pay special attention to that one because the Bravely Default, the first one that came out on the 3DS, like a lot of these offshoot JRPGs, they can get pretty pricey past their launch. And so while you have it available, you can get it for cheaper, so that way if you were ever interested in playing it, you won't have to worry about dropping 80, 100 bucks for whatever reason if it winds up being hard to find later on. And real quick, for Final Fantasy fans, because Square Enix makes Bravely Default, These are JRPGs that you'd want to play if you missed the old school Final Fantasy games. Things like the job system, things like the old classic items and stuff. Final Fantasy's been changing it up recently, and you get to go back to its roots. And it's very, very clearly a Final Fantasy game from the old days, just with more modern utility. And changing it up to another beat-em-up title, but one that a lot of people have been paying attention to, is Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity for $39.99. I'd say it's a great get because, like we always say, Nintendo games themselves are tough to go down in price. So seeing it $20 cheaper is fantastic. And with this being a prequel story to what happens in Breath of the Wild with some twists, but I won't mention it, it's a good way to get this game cheaper because there's some DLC that's currently available to explore new characters, new weapons and stuff. So if you're interested, it's worth picking up. And this way you can save a couple bucks while you're at it. And going back to, while those games were not lower than $20, which means they're not available for the buy two get one. One other mention I want to throw out there is the Lego Harry Potter collection. And those games did come out on the Wii, 360, PS3 and such, but they put them together, gave them a little bit of a nicer boost in performance, and put it up on the Switch together as one. And Lego games I would always recommend for younger audiences, and heck, you know, Harry Potter being what it is, any Harry Potter fan can, I think, enjoy it. Because it's a retelling of those movies or those stories with a comedic twist, as Lego's always good to go. And seeing it at $19.99 in conjunction with the buy two get one means you can potentially make it out pretty big. That's 2 games in one already. So walking out with 3 games, having those ones in addition to it, just makes it all the more worthwhile for you. So yeah, GameStop's kept it pretty tame, but you can take good advantage of that buy two get one, as well as that pro membership that can get you some extra stuff, including the $5 coupon. Worth jumping on if you ever ask me.
This week we didn't find great deals at Best Buy, so we were gonna skip on it. Moving on to Walmart, it only had one game that is worth mentioning, which is Pikmin 3 Deluxe for $39.99. And actually now, as we're recording this video, Amazon is also matched the same price. We don't know when this deal will last because Walmart and Amazon are very random in their deals. But to be on the safe side, we expect it to be expired maybe by Saturday, maybe Sunday the latest. Pikmin 3 is an import from Wii U. They improved the graphics for it. It's a great adventure game. I don't know, Marky, maybe you played this game more than me?
Indeed I have. It's actually a pretty popular franchise between me and my fiance at the moment. So it's about gathering up Pikmin, tackling things in a timed manner so that you guys can stay alive. And, well, without giving too much of it away, it's a lot of strategy, but with cute little critters. In Pikmin, you gather little creatures, and as the bigger number you have, the more tasks you're able to tackle, and that's no different from us in a sense. So we'd like to remind you, if you've been enjoying what you've been watching so far, or if you've learned something new on how to tackle things at a great price, feel free to click the like button, also the subscribe button, so that you can join our community. We're starting small, we're getting bigger every day as we try and keep more and more people informed on the latest deals, as we build a community of people who want to play the best games and not break the bank doing it.
And also would like to remind you that if you got other consoles like Xbox or PlayStation, we got specific playlists for those, so make sure you check our channel for those. And we're having a giveaway for people who are following our channel. It's $10 Nintendo eShop. Whenever we reach 300 subscribers, we're gonna do it again, and we're gonna notify you. In order to be eligible, make sure you check in the description below. There's gonna be a link that you can allow you to have entries. And the more you follow us on social media and maybe interact with our channel, like our videos, the more you have a better chance of winning. And yeah, we did it twice before, and we're looking forward to reward somebody who's helping grow our channel for more deals. So that's the least we can do. Anyway, let's keep going.
We're going on to the digital storefront now, that being the Nintendo eShop. There's some pretty, actually major deals going on. It's not major Nintendo games, but a lot of ones that are worth checking out too. And an important thing to note is that these deals are going on until about the 7th of March. You do have some good time to check out, and even then, it's not worth that much, so feel free to keep an eye out for these. One of them being Immortals Fenyx Rising, as we'll always mention. Ubisoft games do go down pretty commonly, but this was, I think, the lowest I've seen, at least for the digital front, and that's being $14.99. And without throwing too much away, it's Legend of Zelda with Assassin's Creed style. A lot of games have been inspired by Breath of the Wild, and this one is no different. It's actually got a nice tongue-in-cheek writing as well to kind of pair you and keep you going a little bit nicer. Another one that I'd like to pay special attention to is Overcooked 2 for $6.24. And it's an odd price, but bear with me. Overcooked is strictly, I would say, for more than 2 people, 3, 4 at best. It's a concept of you preparing dishes and getting things ready, washing dishes, preparing food and stuff to get your customers happy as soon as possible. But there's a lot of wacky situations, and it's almost always going to devolve in big screaming matches between your friends on the couch, or your family if you want to. And it might test some friendships, it might test some relationships, but I'd say it's worth trying out anyway. Remember, it's just a game, but it's crazy hectic fun on top of that. 2 other games I wanted to mention, actually one I mentioned earlier, which is Lego Harry Potter Collection. This one's hanging out at the eShop at $9.99 if you're interested in going more digital. It is cheaper than going physical. And, you know, without saying too much, that's Lego Harry Potter. It's great, but another one that goes alongside it is for also $9.99, and that's Lego The Incredibles. Kind of the same concept, of the Incredibles movies, but in a Lego format with some comedy writing. Great for younger ones too, if anybody's looking for basic puzzle solving, basic platforming with some silly writing of characters and stuff that people know and love. It's great to grab, and having Lego games down to $10 is a great get anyway, because all of them have a co-op feature, meaning you can drop in, drop out to help somebody or to just kind of play the game together. So it's a great get, and for very low investment too, which is always good. And believe it or not, eShop still has a few more, and of course I'm going to throw it over to Freddy to cover the rest.
Thank you, Marky. One game worth mentioning on Nintendo eShop is XCOM 2 Collection for $4.99. This is a turn-based strategy game where you'll be the commander of a squad of 4 soldiers that is trying to protect the world from aliens. However, what makes this game very unique is that if you lose a soldier from your squad, they are gone for good. So the game will keep you on your toes, and you have to be very responsible and strategic in your decisions. I highly recommend this game. It takes a lot of space on your memory card, so be ready, maybe around 25 gigabytes, and plus be ready for some other updates. But the game is very fun, and I highly recommend it at this price. Another game, this is also a game that is geared toward younger audience. If you have little kids and they maybe you want them to see if they have fun pretending to be a dentist for a little bit, this is a game great for that. It's Zoo Dentist for $199. Yeah, it's very cheap, and seems doesn't have any challenges. Very relaxing game. Basically, you're gonna help some little cats to fix their smiles, and you're gonna do a lot of the dentist stuff like fillings, cleaning, tooth extraction, and so on and so forth. And it's a very nice way to have a shiny smile and test the water with your kid to see if they like to be a dentist in the future. Thank you guys for watching.
And of course, we've been always kind of making some small changes to the format. If you guys got any feedback, feel free to throw them down in those comments below. We're always paying attention. And like we said, those comments can help you feed our community, and it can get you some help when it comes to our 300 sub giveaway. So any kind of feedback or input at all is always greatly appreciated.
And definitely, as I mentioned before, if you got PS4, PS5, Xbox, we got separate videos for those. So make sure you check our playlist.
See you guys real soon.
See you soon.